The town council is now back in regular session. Mr. Shaken, I believe you have a motion.
I'd love to make a motion. I move effective today to authorize the town manager to execute the settlement agreement by and between the town of Mansfield and Newfield Construction Group LLC as presented during the foregoing executive session.
Mr. Bruder seconds. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Shaken.
Just for the purposes of the public, I will do my best to summarize what we talked about in executive session and what this motion proposes. The town went to mediation with Newfield Construction, which was the general contractor that was hired to build the school over a number of disputes regarding the finished construction of the school and its timeline. Our town attorney, Kevin Deneen, working with Colliers, our owner's representative, and the town manager and the sort of committee here in town hall has spent the last several months negotiating with them and having a few mediation sessions with a judge. And ultimately, what is being proposed is a settlement of just north of $1.9 million. The town had held back, but in retainage and approved change orders, just $1.65 million. And so the settlement represents approximately $350,000 or so, $340,000 over what the town had held back in money that was owed to the construction company, but that we didn't pay at the end of the project. I think it's a good agreement, as we discussed for a number of reasons in executive session. It does transfer anything else that needs to get finished in the school, particularly any work to correct some issues on the playground, which we were planning on doing anyway, and the work on the retention drainage area behind the school to the towns. That will be our responsibility to fix in the future. And but it is I think, very favorable financial terms to the town, particularly considering where we think claims would have been made if we had gone further to arbitration, or if we go further to arbitration, or ultimately to court, given how generally the pandemic delayed construction everywhere, very much including at Mansfield Elementary School.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Coleman?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a very complicated issue. And, honestly, that's why we hire attorneys and we have judges look at it. I am very concerned about that school and the number of unaddressed issues that remain that may have not been taken in accommodation. I will support the motion, but I will do so because we do hire professional people and listen to judges, and but I am concerned about the unaddressed issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Mr. Tomeko, is your hand raised?
It sure is.
Good. All right, we are unanimous. And I really want to extend our thanks to Colliers, to the committee, to the attorneys, to the town manager. Oh, and of course, I'm sorry. Yeah, you were putting your coat on. I didn't recognize you right away. Yes, and the superintendent of schools, of course. This is a long and difficult project, an extremely complicated one. We have a wonderful new school. There continue to be some minor alterations and fixes, but anybody who's built any new house or anything knows that that's always true. This is probably this is a much more complicated building than most school buildings. It's also really beautiful, and the people who work in it really like it. So thank you, everybody. And the next item on our agenda is a motion to adjourn.
Which I will do.
Mr. Kiefner moves. Is there who seconds? Mr. Coleman seconds. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Mr. Tomeko, is your hand up?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Thank you.
Folks, if you didn't already turn in your piece of paper.